First of all, thank you all for joining this course. Welcome to the meeting. And you need not on your videos. You can just keep your videos, muted. Keep yourself audio muted. If you have any questions, feel free to unmute and speak. This meeting is going to be for the next half an hour. We are going to talk about the course, the Swayam course, Management Information System and Technology for Business. Firstly, I would like to thank you all for joining this course. This course is one of the most, sorted course for understanding how technology is used for managerial decision making. So I'm also thankful to all the Swayam board for coordinating and putting up this content on the Swayam portal. Now, I'll be sharing my screen, a bit of housekeeping before I start with the session. If you have any queries, feel free to use the chat box. I would also love to know where you are from and what courses you are studying, what made you to take up this course. Please drop it in the chat box if you wish. You can just mention what courses you are studying so that I understand the diversity of the student coming to this course. Feel free to use the chat box. Just drop in your courses, what courses you have joined. So that helps me to understand what this is. And we'll also be going to have one more session, which is going to be a very specific topic on demand. I want you to suggest those courses or topics which we can have a half an hour discussion, which is useful for you. So if you let me know today, we can understand what is the most sorted topic and come back for that discussion for like 20-25 minutes in the next session. Now I'll be sharing the screen and taking you through the course quickly. And you're also aware about the course pattern and the schedule. I hope the screen is visible. If one of you can put a thumbs up, that gives me confidence that the screen is visible. Kindly put a thumbs up to let me know that the course, yeah, thank you so much. Yes, so let me just go ahead. I'll just mute my video for a while so that the flow is not interrupted. So this particular course was designed keeping in mind multiple aspirants who are taking up, like uh, you could also be a beginner if you're a student, maybe like you're looking at the course for learning few things which are relevant to your syllabus. And it could also be important for somebody who has just started their career, but they just want to make up and understand what exactly is the course like. Just to share a bit, last time when we offered this course, there were 1,000+ takers, and surprisingly 20% and above were industrialists, like people from industry background. They were starting their careers and their managers had recommended this course. So somewhere the course also tries to explore and make understand how technology is being used in decision making, the management information system part. So they took the exam, they came back, and they were all like giving the feedback how it was useful. So I would really love to understand how it is useful to you, whether it's part of your syllabus or somebody recommended that. So after this session, I will share a small feedback form. So if you can fill that, it will be helpful for me to understand these dimensions. Right now in this session, I am only going to focus on the course. I hope most of you have joined. So let me just take you through the course. As you all know, uh, the first two assessments deadlines are already set. One is 30th March. I hope you have covered the videos. If you have not covered the videos, go through the videos and answer the weekend assessments, because some of the assessments deadlines are 30th of March. That is 2 days left for the deadline. Now, in this course, we are going to talk about the fundamentals of computer evolution. And we are going to talk about how MIS has been designed. We will also be talking about emerging technologies, how technology industry has been disrupted. If you have any queries, please post it if you want to understand any topic. I know there is a lot of content on YouTube, but IT trends are always, happening. So I can bring back, recently we did a session on AI for managers. So if you're looking for some topics like how technology is used in business, and what sort of things are you using, I'll also interrupt in between. I don't want to keep it monotonous. Now, yeah, taking you through the course. So I think week 0 is mostly briefing. You would have gone through all those things. Exam details are there, so go through that. Your assessment, if you're taking up exams for certification, you're aware, this credits can be accumulated in your you know academic bank of credits, ABC. So when you are registering, you would have given these details. If you have not registered, particularly graduate students who are looking for higher studies or postgraduate students who are planning to pursue further studies, can go to your profile and update that ABC by creating your ABC and add the points. So if you have any doubts, you can just post about that in the group. I have kept the group always open. So it shouldn't be any problem for you to, ask any questions. Now coming to week 1, in week 1, we have fundamentals, like right from the very basics, like how, you know a computer functions, like input and processing and output. I've listed all possible components there. So every input device is listed, and output devices are listed. I'm also interested to know through the chat box, like are there any people who are working here? Are there any particular devices what you're using? Thank you. Some of you have dropped in your uh, details in the portal for finance in BMS. Okay, nice. Yeah, please drop in the chat box. It will help me understand. If you're working, like last time, somebody was working. Uh, Something like I am working in a radio station. That was very interesting for me because even I visited a radio station. The input devices there are totally different. It is like integrated on a very large, stable, and even the volume controls are also part of the input control there. Now we also visited planetarium, like you know a prototype of a space control room or something like that. So even there, we saw different types of input devices, and we visited some of the museums where we saw audio inputs are used when we go in front of any model or anything. If the sensor is activated, it will start giving the details about. So let me say I will stand in front of a portrait. So if I simply look at the portrait and just press one button, or the moment I stand there in that area defined, just by sensing that input mode, an audio is activated, which I will be given an audio device. So there are many interesting things which are used in the real world. So possible discussions I've included in the first module. And in the second module, we had operating systems, not only traditional operating systems like Windows and Linux. We have also discussed about mobile operating systems and tiny operating systems, which are quite not discussed in the syllabus context. And we discussed about networking topologies, something like World Wide Web today, like which comes under wide area network, is something which is helpful for all of us today to transact in business. It has boosted business. Medical sciences, like last week, there was a trending reel on Instagram, if you have seen. Did you come across this news about the telesurgery? Telesurgery happened for the first time in India, and using a 5G network. So time, distance, all these things are eliminated like anything. So input device is somewhere, processing device is somewhere, output device is somewhere. We need to understand how this was possible with the help of a network. So possible discussions have been covered in that topic. And we also have discussed the evolution of computers. Just today, we were revamping, one of the leading universities syllabus, and there was a request to add on something like quantum computing. So how quantum computing is used and blockchains are used in higher level of decision making. So these are certain things where we have evolved today. And in fifth lecture, we have components of information system, like five basic components. Uh, the major components of information system are software, hardware, network, data, and people. So how this could be used to create an information system, and then how we have classified like operation support system and management support system, how it is useful. That part is discussed in module 6. I think most of you have completed your assessments. If you have not completed the assessments, just check the date. The first assessment due date is 30th. If you plan to take exams and you want the certificate, please do the assessments on time. It's just a multiple choice question. I've opened it on screen. You have any queries pertaining to this other than asking answers, you can just ask me about that. So completing the assessments and submitting is most important. If you're not done, please do that. And coming back to the module, in week 2, we'll be talking about development and implementation of information system. I see most of you have covered till mid of week 3. After that, there is a slowdown in the dashboard. Like I see most of you have not completed after week 3. So my sincere suggestion and request is, please get on to the topics just when you're traveling or anytime. Plug into that videos, you can listen, and if you have any visuals you can come back and see that later. So in week 2 we have covered how information technology has been shaped over a period of time. So we have multiple topics like how technology is used in business systems, what it takes to develop an information system. Like we have multiple examples from medical healthcare sector, traffic systems. I've included banking examples, so you get enough examples to understand all this content. I hope you're also aware, like somebody was asking me, can I download this content? Yes, you can download. All you need to do is, this is the video script, this is particularly I've enabled. If you want the PPTs, all you need to do is you have to click the download button here. This is downloadable. Learning materials are downloadable. Uh, even if you're a faculty, please feel free to download it. Since there was a space limitation, I have put very less slides. Uh, if you need more to add on onto the topic, the major things are covered here. You can go to the same slide and add on based on the videos or content what you want to deliver in that session. If you are a faculty or somebody who are looking to use the slides, feel free to reuse that. So there shouldn't be any issue in that. That's the reason we have enabled it to download, right? And you can also use this as a reference for reading also. So I think in week 2, there are a lot of things about how an information system is developed, and technology disruption. Like you have technology adoption model. So how, when a company is using a technology, if something changes in the outside market, how it is adapting to that new technology. Or if a company is going for technology adoption for the first time, how it has to convince its both internal stakeholders, like train the employees, bring in the system, how to convince the management, feasibility analysis. So many things are there. Similarly, how to convince the users outside, like external stakeholders, and how do you reserve the fund. So a lot of things have been discussed in this model. So in lecture 10, we talk about e-commerce. Today we know everything is at the tip of fingers. Without e-commerce model, business would have not boosted like this. Payment integration is discussed a bit. And then again, you have application of various technologies in business management. So if you come across this, you will understand how all the recent technologies like AI, blockchain, and all those things are used. Add on to this, in the later week 5, detailed description about these topics are extended. And no technology or systems are powerful without data. So we call data is the new oil. So data, information, knowledge, wisdom, DIKW model is discussed here. We will talk about a little bit about database management systems, what are the databases used, and all sort of things in this. So then again, we have in the third module, functional business information system, where we will be talking about MIS, how it's used in managerial decisions. We have covered everything which is mostly useful for graduation and post-graduation syllabus, like functional units like marketing, HR, finance, and other relevant topics there. Then decision support systems is interactive systems, which is used for decision making. That is covered here. Again, assessments are due here. If you see till third week, it is 30th March, assessment dates. Now, fourth week onwards, you have emerging technologies. Now, a bit of break I'll give here. If you want to use the chat box, feel free. From fourth week, you have time till April 4th for the assessment. But till week 3, it is better to complete your assessments in the next 2 or 3 days. It hardly takes 2 to 3 minutes if you have listened to the videos, or else you can listen to the videos and try to make it up. So those things will go inactivated after some time. After the deadlines. I'll also look into the chat box. I am really interested to understand. Are you looking for any specific topics through a YouTube, 5 to 10 minute delivery, or are you looking for any particular hands-on session like using Excel or Power BI or anything? Like we talk about data-driven decision. So there are a lot of Swayam courses on that also. But if you are looking anything specific to be discussed, please list the topics. I will make an effort to come back and do that here or create it on a YouTube and share the link in the group. So feel free to use the chat box. Are you looking for any topics? Please mention it there. And yeah, going back in the fourth module, one of the input I got during the last session was, can you revamp a bit? So if you look at some of the topics, I've made a little effort to come back and add some latest case studies or examples. Okay. Thank you for that. I think Claude is a great tool, and yeah, I've been using it quite a time. So I would definitely love to come back and look at that. Uh, I'll explore and come back quant finance also, right? So just give me some time. I'll be like working on this, creating and sharing it. And the next set of things, if you look at week 4, it's all the latest topics. Everything about what is driving today's businesses here, like AI, generative AI, blockchain, and I'll come back to that question. Please give me a little time. It uh, Technology and systems are, usually synonymically used, but that's actually not right. There are two different things. Technology is a platform and a system is a process oriented thing. I'll come back to the questions. Keep posting your questions. And since I was talking about this, like lecture 23 is something which is most happening. Like tech trends, I've covered fintech, insurtech, regtech as a very small part. Super tech is also there. And today we had a very fruitful discussion. As I said, we were revamping the syllabus. Wealth tech is also an addition. So that also could be like added for the discussion. And We have like market tech, which is already like taking over the trends in the marketing sector. So all these things are evolving. Feel free to go and explore all these topics, because here in the course we have just covered, we have opened up and we have made you aware about these topics, how technological products are designed to be integrated in these sectors. And then in week 5, this can become a whole paper. If anybody is interested to study more about cyber law, cyberspace, or information law, data related laws, this is a module what you should thoroughly listen to. We have everything from data privacy to data security to Information Technology Act with amendments I've quoted, cybersecurity related topics, and again IPR. So software industry, today looks at IPR in a very uh, protected way. So IPR is an integral part of technology, and I have added a small additional topic there. If you click on that, somebody had messaged me this was not opening. All you need to do is click on that. It will take you to that particular portal. I'm keeping you open with this link because this dynamic link will keep changing. Sometimes they will have new additions and all. So I wanted to take you through the dedicated page and make you aware of this concept. That is the reason it's kept open like that. So that's how you have to go there, and it's like part of your self learning. There is no marks for this. And in week 6, yeah, just a second. In week 5 also assessment is there. Please go ahead and complete the assessment. You have time till April 10. Week 6 is all about responsible use of technology. If you look at Harvard Standard, uh, they talk about digital transformation and artificial intelligence. So their exclusive modules are dedicated. Courses are designed for responsible use of technology, or you will see something like ethical use of technology, because when it goes in wrong hands, anything can go wrong. So how technology is enabling people to create things. Likewise, there are also certain you know uh, areas where people can misuse. So we will be exploring all those topics there. And since all these electronics and electrical components will consume electricity and lot of other resources, how do we responsibly use the resources also is part of sustainable development goals. Right from information to resources, like including hardware resources, is covered a bit here. So there is a small linking material for reading. Please go ahead and explore that SDG 17, which is linked with information technology. And we invited a panel of experts from industries. And that panel discussion was recorded and put here for your reference. Please go through this panel discussion and listen. I would also love to invite, if anybody is interested and working in IT sector and is knowledgeable, please feel free. We can invite you for a session here. Your knowledge would be very much useful for us. So if anybody is interested, yeah, please, we can invite you. Yes, I think with that, the overall course content is discussed. Exam notifications will be given soon. Stay alert, complete your assignments, and also uh, something about like the topics what you have given. I'll work on this, and I'm just making a note of this. I will work on this
Work
and
on
come
this
back.
and come back.
Uh, Vijaya, I am sorry, I did not understand. Working, but need to know that exam will take place in NTA or on Swayam. Exams will take place in person. So they will allocate the nearest center when once the exams are called. You need to give your location priority. So based on that, you can you'll be allotted. NTA is the body which will be conducting the uh, examinations, like they set standards and lot. So system development life cycle. Yeah, what is the question? You can unmute and ask. Please don't hesitate. You can ask your question. Please feel free to ask the question, or you can just detail the question. System development life cycle has particularly main stages like right from systems planning to systems deployment. So we have covered that in the second week. So it should be somewhere in lecture 8, like developing an information system. If you are an engineering or a BCA student, you have a subject called as Systems Analysis and Development. SSAD they call, SAD they call. That covers all system development lifecycle in detail. If you want some examples I can quote, please feel free to mention. And you can be a little specific on your question. Or have you put the question earlier? Okay. And can IT and IS be used interchangeably? Definitely not. As I said earlier, information technology is a platform and information system is the process. So when IT is part of your IS, you need a platform, you need an hardware, you need a technology. So that is IT. We have made a small discussion about this somewhere in the week 2 itself. Any other questions? Please. Present example of STLC, great. Okay, let us just say like in one of the tier 2 cities, like smart cities, okay, they are trying to implement and integrate. I hope you're aware about IoTs. Now, this is a large scale project. Have you heard about smart cities? Have you heard about a city connected with all the infrastructural facilities? Yes, right from traffic. You might be wondering why traffic is part of the system, living system, like for us, how it's important. Uh, I'll give you a small example. First, I will talk about STLZ quickly and then come to that example so that you'll be able to relate. Yes, Bidadi is there, Tumkur is there. Bidadi is actually Queen. It's coming under Queen. That's a Queen smart city, right? Okay. It's under Karnataka government. If people are from other states, I know people are from other states are also here. There are a lot of smart city projects happening across India. Now, what is systems development life cycle? For example, in a tier 2 city where traffic lights are not there. If traffic lights are not there, what is the issue? One is traffic controlling can happen manually when a police is standing there, right? Suppose if you want an integrated system, what happens is we can design all this thing with the help of our information system. Now, how do we do that? The police traffic department should put a proposal with the first stage of systems planning. Systems planning is the first stage where they will tell like we need a system to monitor the traffic management system. We can call it as traffic management system. Now, what happens in the planning stages? Who's going to fund the project? And who's going to develop the project for us, because police department might not have an in-house team. Well, there are certain positions recruited, they might outsource it to somebody else, IT firms, IT consulting firms who will design all the uh, things for them, like right from a app what the traffic police is using on the road to a main server. So who will give us hardware, software, system designing, all those software designing part? This is done in planning. And then once they've identified who's going to do that, like it could be an external party or an in-house team, they come to the second stage, systems planning. Now in systems planning, they do a lot of systems analysis, they do a lot of feasibility analysis. Like there are 4 types of feasibility, like economic feasibility, technical feasibility, operational feasibility, financial feasibility. And they do all this analysis and find out, okay, yes, we can have this hardware, we can have this software, we can have this type of overall system. And that leads to the second stage of system analysis and development. So they will develop, they'll procure the hardware stage by stage. If it is a mega project, they implement stage by stage. If it is a smaller project, they can implement. Let us say small, medium firm company means they can implement it within a week or 2 to 3 days based on the size of the firm. But a traffic system for a tier 2 city based on the volume of, geography, number of population, number of vehicles on road. You need to analyze all these things. Real time analysis is required. So after that, they develop the information system, and it also has designing, then implementing phase by phase, or plunge or pilot study is done in some cases. They implement, test it, evaluate it, to and fro certain things are done. After that, they deploy it completely. So today, if you're living in Bangalore, you already know there is a beautiful traffic management system. You can just see the police department is so empowered just with a small mobile smartphone on his hand and an app on that. So this is a example which all of us can relate. Likewise, we have multiple examples like this systems development life cycle. I hope this top example was convincing. I got an answer, and I have another question. That is, star networking is really advantage for networker. Yes, star network is one of the useful one. In fact, I've discussed in the syllabus also, like in the module, what's the pros and cons. One of the major advantage of star network is it connects all the nodes and brings in the data to center system. And if there is any failure in one system, it doesn't affect the other system's flow. So that one system also might have a backup or anything like that. So it's one of the advantages system networking. Thank you so much for that kind of questions. You made it really interactive. And thank you all for listening. If you have any questions, please feel free to post. I have just made a note of Claude and finance quant. So I'll be coming on that again. So this was a first session where I did not want to trouble you much. Thank you all for joining. Are there any questions? I would still give another 2-3 minutes. If you want to unmute and ask the questions, feel free to unmute and ask the questions. And a small reminder, once the videos are done, please go back to the assessments and complete the assessments. Keep a tab on your announcements. Are you getting the emails to your thing? There was also somebody who told we are not getting structured query language, that is SQL under DBMS, that is covered in lecture 12. So today you have SQL and NoSQL, like social media has enabled unstructured data. So just try to explore a little bit about NoSQL also. You have open sources on which you can learn. There are a lot of courses on DBMS on Swayam portal under NPTEL also. If you are a technical students, please explore that. Are you getting the emails? I just had a quick query. Emails on the notifications about the course release and other things. All right. So if there are no questions, I will close the session here. Thank you so much for joining us and asking these questions and taking the summary of the whole topic. ChatGPT is an example for generative AI, Gen AI. Super AI, it can be like if you have a paid verse, if it is integrated with other systems. But ChatGPT by itself is not a super AI. Are you using ChatGPT? Which are the AI tools you are using? Somebody said Claude. Are you using Perplexity? Perplexity is also one of the trending tools. Go try that. Yeah, you might be using different AI tools also. I would love to. I will put on some polls, so feel free to answer that. Yes. Try different tools, like I use Canva AI tool for designing, and I also use Gamma for presentations, GAMMA. So AI tools are greatly useful. Yes. So since there are no more questions, I think we have 2 more minutes to end the meeting. If you have any questions, you can ask, or else I will just close the meeting here. Lesson, you listed 3 types of AI: narrow, general, and super AI. Yeah, that's how the classifications are done. And yes, that's true. So in super AI, like it's a very ultra level AI. So today, what is evolving with lot of integrations and collabs, that super AI is evolved. So you need to have a lot of data systems in place, and ChatGPT to an extent is like you have a paid version and free version. The free version limits you with certain access. The paid version integrated to your business tool can become, a super AI. Yeah, so the last 1 minute is there for the meeting closure. And yes, Toysy, I don't know how do I pronounce your name. I'm so sorry if I've spelled it wrong. I've taken note of your question. You taking exam from different country, how would it work on? I will just find out with the respective, national coordinator and get back to you. So please give me some time. It's going to be holiday for us tomorrow and Monday here across Karnataka and South India. So kindly give me some time. I'll get back on that question. Thank you all for joining and have a great weekend. So see you again in the group chats and stay active, keep sparking some lively conversation and cheers to your learning spirit. Thank you. I'm going to end the meet.